Hello, welcome to the Corner Bird Studio live stream. Why is iPad? I feel like iPad OS, the new iPad OS, is so buggy. Anyway, I'll be working on sculpting this old work in progress that I felt like I had so much mental block on this one. But after opening up again this year, I was like, you know what, it's time to finish this. And then I noticed that because I've been sculpting a lot of hands and recently just sculpted feet for another character, then now when I looked at this old one again, I'm like, oh, it's really like chunky. So let's finish this up. I'll just make this look a lot better because like it's still like the base mesh feet. I wanted to stream a little bit earlier this week, but then I got the usual sidetracked of like, let me show you. Oh. I got the usual sidetrack of like working on, I guess it's like this weird feeling of when I'm like I need to do some sculpting, I feel like I want to paint, and then when I need to do some painting, I feel like I want to sculpt. So because I always feel that way, I'm just gonna lean into the feeling. And so I just finished this the other day. I'm like, first, hello full YT. Hello, thank you for tuning in. That emoji, that sticker or whatever is so cute. Anyway, I was like yeah, I guess 2026 is about trying to what's that called, like not overthink and try to push things out as fast as I go. I know that this is supposed to be a sculpting stream, but then I was thinking I learned quite a bit of doing this. I did this in, I think I calculated around like 6 hours. And because like one of my issues with doing art is that I don't finish a lot of my things. And so it was an interesting experience to try and like push myself to get something out really fast. And one of the things that will stop me from finishing works is like I'll nitpick on something. Like I know that the drawing is not the most anatomy, like the anatomy is not like the most correct, but then I'm just going to like ignore that for this one because it's like 6 hours, you know. It's a good progress. And yeah, there's always this feeling of if you're used to finishing works, I think you wouldn't really feel this way. But then for someone like me who don't like, I rarely finish any art piece, that there's this new feeling that I'm trying to get accustomed to, which is like, how do I frame it? It's like there are a lot of areas like here where I feel like I should have just, let me see, not this one, but something like this. Like I worked a little bit more on this areas here, and then I was thinking the other areas don't really need them right now. I mean, something like here would benefit to have something like this, because like it will help to separate the layers a little bit, because this is like, let me just, where's the brush? So probably if I just, wrong brush. Probably if I just like, sorry, doing work on like on my own and not talking about it, and like live streaming it like feels so different. That's also a reason why I didn't live stream, because I'm like, sometimes it's nice to just like not talk about my process and like talk about what I have to think about and all that, and just like quietly think about it and just do the work. It feels really different. Hopefully in the future, when I get better at painting and becomes like more natural, like more second nature, that I can do like what other good artists like painters do, and like live stream and like do nice paintings fast while live streaming. But right now I can't do that yet. So I think it's something like this, but then maybe not. Maybe this is too much. Something like this, just to push it a little, like tiny bit. But this is not the main part. I think what I wanted to say is that this very unfamiliar feeling is the feeling of like telling myself like, okay, I'll just finish this painting first, and then I will, after I like post it online, then I'll come back to it and do up whatever small things that I'm like previously nitpicking on, like to not post this. And then after posting it and then I look back at this, I'm like, I don't want to touch it anymore. And it's a very foreign feeling, I feel. Like I felt it a bit finishing 2 of my previous art pieces, and then I'm like, yeah, I feel like I want to get used to this feeling. And like, you remember that I feel this way when I finish something and post it up, and like focus on the things that like I feel like I will want to work on. How to say? I want to work on like doing these things faster and like put it on more areas in like new paintings, because for this case, like I was experimenting with this, so this one took quite a while to get like the final look ready. But now that maybe I've done it like the second time, then maybe in the future I'll be like, okay, I'm going to do in the same amount of time this amount of detail on these other areas here. And like my that part is like still so rough. And yeah, so something that I always have a learning point for my streams, and in this case I'll probably have like a 2D learning point and a 3D learning point. And for the 2D side, the way that I did this in 6 hours is let me show you the a lot of these things are just like, wait, no, this is not, wait, like they're all done. Wait, is this the base? What's this? Oh wait, this is a shadow, okay. Oh yeah, then I need to switch this off. I think this is like quite a nice learning experience, like an experiment that was successful. I just need to find the list. And that is that I was like here. Where was it? Oh my god, so many layers. I should have renamed them. I think this one. No. This one. This. Where was it? Bear with me. Wait, where's this one? Actually, is this one even? Oh, it's empty. Where's this one? Oh, here. So this was the, I think, yeah, this was the kind of like the second pass of this. And then I was like, how do I finish this fast? And the way that I did it was to oh, thank you. Yeah, I really enjoy like drawing all these things. I was just using like the default. Oh, I was using this. Like it's just like a flat. Or just like this brush, and then I was just like drawing like that. So it was really fun. But yeah, so from this point I was like, I don't spend like even more time on this, because I wanted to focus on like trying to finish something faster than before at like my current speed. And the way that I did that was to duplicate. So where was the so I have like the layers separate like this, and what I did was to duplicate this one. I'm just going to, and then just move it a bit, and then darken it like that, and just making it a bit more obvious. And yeah, when I did this, I was like, okay, then this is the kind of like the final piece to finish everything, like to tie the pieces together. So that's what I did. And then I did some extra drawings. And a lot of this was also like the way that I choose the colors was just when I duplicated the layers, and then I, like this one, when I duplicate the layers and then I darken it and then I shifted it, I was like, this color is nice. I want to bring it over to other areas. And so all these stuff are just like painted over like this. Let me just show you. So just a bigger. So painted over like this, and just using the same brush. Then I'm just like doing this to get the variations. Obviously, because I was trying to finish it, I come is like I should have done like this area here, something like that. Something like this. But yeah, it's just, yeah, like the most important lesson for this is to learn how to learn how to overcome like this like mental block of like nitpicking things and just finish. Yeah, anyway, I hope that you like this, and I will go back to, I hope I didn't mess anything up actually. Maybe I should just undo everything. Yeah, this was really fun. Okay. You can see like the difference, like just adding a little bit to, wait, wrong one, to something like that. I think even for this layer I should have added some, because it's a separate layer. Where was it? Because this was a separate layer, I should have just like, I can even just do it now. Just gone over it. Something like this, just to create the, oh, hello Manjusha. Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, I just find it really sad that it's that, like, to me, I don't know whether this is just a personal opinion of like someone who doesn't know any better or anything, But I feel like people who it will just kind of like create this even bigger gap of like doing art becomes a privilege that like if you because like trying to do art by yourself without the use of other things is how to say, it takes a lot of time to learn, and people don't realize that, I think. Especially if, and there are a lot of people who succeed when they immediately come out of like art school or something at like 20 something years old, but not everyone is like that. I'm not like that. And like I always think about like for those people, you're just gonna limit their options even more, I guess. I think even like after this year, I'm not sure whether or not I will continue doing this, because maybe I just not cut out for it, But that's why this year I just want to have as much fun as I can, while I still have a very limited amount of freedom to experiment. And it's fine for me to fail right now, but I think in time I will need to think about like I need to think about other things, like the other people, care for like the people around me and all that stuff. But yes, 2026 is just about making things. And I feel like the lessons that I learned, like just trying to do all these things, has been really helpful for me. I think it would be even helpful if like I need to look for a job in the future. I don't know. But anyway, that's all for the 2D stuff, which is not related to today's stream topic. But I hope that it I hope that is interesting to anyone doing 3D too, because like that kind of outlining effect, I feel like it also can apply to my, let me just switch off this stupid, I like the depth of field. It's just that in Nomad Sculpt depth of field, you can't force it on something. So when I tap on different objects, it jumps around. I wish that there's a way to just like lock it to something that I like, but I'll just switch it off for now. But yeah, like the thing with the outline, it helps even for something like this. You can see my old painting. It's if I just add a little bit more definition like this, you can see like it cleans it up a little bit. And I'll do this in another stream, so let's just work on the feet today. Let me switch off. Alright, let me switch off Procreate so that it doesn't use up too much of my because my iPad's really feeling warm. I like to work in lit PBR mode with all the colors and all the vertex painting showing up, so it does make my iPad feel a little bit warm. Yeah, it's getting a bit warm. So this is like the old foot. You can see like it's, initially I was thinking I would just ignore it because it's kind of like down here. But then I think looking at it again now, it's like compared to this area here, to yeah, from this area to this area, it feels too different. Like even from here to here or here to here. And like it's kind of normal because I didn't touch this at all while sculpting all these other things. So I'm going to, I probably will ditch this. And I haven't seen this in a while. I'll remove the base. I'll hide these. Not sure whether they're instance. Okay, they're not. So I can keep them. Do you know why they're not instances? It doesn't make sense. They look the same. I don't remember what the old me was thinking about. Okay, let me just fix this first. Let's see. I have to hit like this shirt. But the shirt is, I want to create a mirror repeater, but I'm trying to find the point to make it. Is this a good point? Maybe I'll use this then. So the old feet, for some reason, they're not instances. And I feel like they can be instances, so I'm just going to do this. Maybe I just work in my camera first so that it's not so laggy. I'm doing this in Nomad Sculpt. It's an iPad app, but I think it's in Nomad Sculpt is available for iPad and for Android. And I think there's Nomad Sculpt for PC Windows. I think. I haven't tried it because I was saying that like, oh cool, I want to try it, but then I'm like I have like sculpts to do on my iPad, I have painting to do on my Procreate, and I'm like, there's just too many things to do, so I end up not doing them. But I think it's like these are all like separate pieces, and I spend quite a lot of time working on these. I spent quite a lot of time working on this one to build the pieces up. And like if you just combine all the small details together, like they become quite built up. So I'm going to, let me see. Oh, is it because I was pointing it in? I want the instance leg so that I can sculpt on both of them like this. And let's see. Then I will. Where's the? Sometimes I work on old files. I'm like, man, everything is so messy. Let's fix the gizmo position. The nice things about instance things too is that the gizmos are reflected on the other object. Whereas if this were just clones of each other, then I'll need to adjust them both separately. You can see this one is still over here because it's not an instance. And drawing is hard. I have a lot of experience drawing, and like you can see in the painting that I showed just now, that I like to draw those kind of stuff, like on her hair and all that stuff. And I think it really helps for these kind of things where like these are kind of the same as doing those drawings. The only difference is that you have to think about the 3D space of things. Like I'm not just drawing on this space anymore. I need to think about like what this shape looks like on the other side. And like I would say they have different challenges and different pros and cons. Because like in 3D, let's say if I do something like this, something like that, I'm just doing a quick demo. Something like this, it doesn't just exist in this angle. It also looks different here. And in this case, because I know that the base form of this skirt is like in a shape that I like, so I kind of know that if I rotate the camera angle, I like the drawing of this. And like it does look nice. It just needs to be like folded a little bit better. Maybe like this. So this is something that you can't get in 2D where like yeah, I think picking up software is like you have to find something that really interests you to make you stick around. But yeah, like even this side view like looks pretty nice. And this is something that you can get with 2D where like when you draw on the front like one angle here, that when you rotate it looks like another nice line from another angle, because 2D is just like drawing on a flat piece of paper. But at the same time, doing 3D means that you have to make sure that the other angles look nice too. So that's like the up and the downsides of that. We are going to try. I don't remember why I didn't keep the instances, because they... Oh, I see. Okay, I guess I bent the leg a little bit more. Okay, I think this is why I didn't instance that. But I think it doesn't matter because like it doesn't look that different. So I'm just trying to match the old leg, the other leg, as the best as I can. And then I think that is close enough. Yeah, I guess I uninstance it so that I can make this foot like a little bit more like that. But for now it doesn't really matter because let me... So the reason why I want to instance them is because now I want to change the foot sculpt for this. So the way that instancing will help is that if I... Let's cut this out. If I do this, then it will be reflected on the other side too. So it's like twice the work done. So I'm gonna make like the ball of the lake, and now let me think. Wait, actually, I'm wait. Oops. Let me not get ahead of myself. I want to keep the mirror. So now I know like what I uninstance the old leg for. I can just... Let's just work with the mirror. So I'm using a mirror repeater like this to reflect, to mirror the leg to the other side, and I'll make use of this to create the foot base and to create the new feet. So I'm going to do this. And then I will add a new spear. Oh, I forgot to do this. Let's redo this. What I'm doing here is to just move the... I have a macropad, and something that I really like with the macropad is, if you notice that when I'm using a different tool, that the add sub button is here, and when you go to the gizmo tool, the pivot mode is over here at the same spot. So when you use the add sub button on your macropad, it toggles the gizmo pivot adjustment. And so that's what I do for a lot of my objects. Something like this. And I like to, even though I'm working in like a 3D space, I'm still kind of like working on moving things at like the front angle, the side angle, and the top. Because if you get these angles right, it's like a high chance that everything else will fall into place. So, and of course, because this sculpt is in kind of like an arbitrary 3D space, that when I say front angle, it means this front angle. As in, the front of the foot is over here and not... Well, I did work in... Okay, so this is like the right angle, and the right of the foot is more like this. Something like that. I'm going to create a foot the same way that I did my other feet sculpt, which I didn't do on stream. So hopefully, hopefully I will be able to successfully sculpt another feet. Like the YouTube thumbnail for this stream, the foot on the right side was like the foot that I sculpted for another character. So I'm going to try and replicate the steps I took to get to that. So using a quad spear, I'm going to validate this. I'm going to turn on dynamic topology. And this is why I wanted to keep the mirror instancing, so that when I move these around, like it's just reflected on the other side and the other foot is done. So let me put the gizmo properly first. Always put the gizmo properly first. And then I'm going to use dynamic topology and sculpt the base like this. It always starts out very lumpy. And honestly, like I still don't... I'm not as comfortable sculpting feet as I am sculpting hands. I guess just because I can look at my hands like right in front of me, but then the table is kind of like blocking the view of my foot. Like I don't really like to make reference spots for like references and stuff. I keep trying over the years to like, okay, I'm going to have like different files for like different references, like maybe a cloud reference file or something. Yeah. I feel shame looking at my art skills. I feel like it's like, I think people don't understand that a lot of people sell out bad with art, and it's the people who consistently work on improving, who get better at art. So I feel like it's good that you feel like some sort of shame with your own skill. Like, to a certain degree, I still feel it. And I feel like a small dose of it is healthy. A big dose of it is not. But there are so many people who like are not good with their art skills, and then they're like, oh my god, my art is the best. And they wouldn't learn anything. They wouldn't think about improving themselves because they can't even see that they have problems with like anatomy or anything like that. So I like to think about it that way, but like, it's good to have some of those feelings so that you can work on improving yourself. But yeah, working on improving yourself it's hard work. Let me just try to... I'm just thinking, do I put the ball of the... I'm going to... put this just for a reference. So I like to put the ball of the ankle on the leg like this, and on the other side too. Something like this. I feel like everything is wrong. But this is like an old leg. Like the attachment of the quads. Something interesting too is that I've been trying to exercise every day recently, and I've been doing that for like, it's been like 3 weeks, I guess. And because of that, a lot of like my like chronic problems are popping out. Last week was about, a few days ago, it's all about meniscus. Because I'm like running and climbing every alternate day, and it is like quite a lot of load on my knees. So from what my physio said, like if the meniscus is being overloaded, then I have to work on leg extensions and hamstring curls, things like that. Non-weight bearing strength exercises, and it's been helping my meniscus. But it's like, because of all these experiences, I'm like, my understanding of like where the muscle is and like where the tendons attaches and all that stuff is like a little bit better than last time. Like when I was working on this model, like I was having a lot of Achilles tendon, which is here, issues from running. So yeah, it's a lot of progress. Let me see. I think, yeah, I'll use my feet as reference. Yeah, I'm glad that we can do work together. Oh, I can hopefully motivate people to just sit down and do some stuff. But I'll look at the reference later on, because now I'm just like building up the kind of like the base shape. The previous foot also, it was just like this. It took a while. And honestly, like my brain is quite fried from like the painting session yesterday, because I'm like, the whole time I'm just like how do I do it fast? Like, do it fast. And then my brain was just like, how do I do it fast? And then it's like problem solving everything. It was it was really tiring. So now the base of this foot is, oh, there are birds outside. So the base of the foot is done. Now I'm going to add, using this gizmo, I'm going to add more spears. And this one is going to be the toe. So I'm working on like the front view, and then now I rotate to the side view, and then just moving them step by step like this. And now I'm going to I think after climbing I learned a lot about my the big toe anatomy, and because I let me just do this. So I'm going to do this, and then I will instance this one and bring it in and just squeeze it like that. And this is the smaller one, like this. I'll instance this again. And the reason why I'm not really working on the final shapes yet is because I'm just going with the flow, and as the pieces start building up, then that's when I can start seeing oh, this one is kind of more out of place or something. So something like this. The smaller one will be smaller. I learned a lot about the big toe, and I think it's been a year since, 1 year and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 months since I started climbing seriously. Okay, let me just squeeze in. Wait a minute. Oops. I need to mirror this. Okay, let me just I keep making mistakes. I keep forgetting to mirror stuff. But it's fine. So I can do this. No, let me just undo everything. Made a mistake. Why did I do this to myself? Okay. So I'm going to... Oh wait. I'm going to make sure that the mirror is done properly. Something is... Oh, oops. Wrong brush. Yep, this is a lot better. I'm just going to do this. Oh, and then I'll instance this again. Now that you've seen the how it looks like, I can even just scale this down and just stretch this out. Now you've seen how all 5 of them looks like. Hopefully this time around when I do this again, that you get a clearer picture of what I'm doing. Why is the screen feeling a little bit weird? Feeling a bit off. And at this point, I will use a higher percentage because I want to get the nail a little bit. So I'm creating the shape of where the joint is, where the crease of the, like underneath the toe, like to bend the toe, there's this crease here. Something like this. Like the foot is going to be really tiny, so okay, maybe that's a little bit too. Oops. So just slightly using the crease brush, something like this, and then I'm going to create the thinner side of where it connects to the foot, and then I'm going to shape this area here. I think there are so many variations of like how long each toes are and all that stuff, or even the way that the toenail grows out of the bit. So I'm just very lightly doing this. You can see how like the mirror repeater really helps to like shorten the time of making this. And then going to add more vertices on these areas. One of the main things that I learned with the foot, wait, let me see, is it too small? Yeah, they're too small. Let me think. Just going to maybe size it up to, I don't know, just some size. And I'm going to, and this is why I want the mirror repeater, so that I can work on both foot at the same time. So one of the main things that I learned with the foot is that, like, I grew up wearing a lot of high heels in the past, and a lot of like so-called like dress shoes. So the shoes are normally like this. I mean, wearing heels and all this stuff, there are a lot of different problems, but normally the shoes are like this, something like that. So if you wear that for extended periods of time, you will get, the big toe will start like curving in like this, just from like being forced into the shoes, like narrow shoes, and then there's like a bone, like a joint here, it can start going out like that, something like this. And then I've seen like I've seen some people where like theirs is really bad and then it really like sticks out like that. Like I've seen it before and I'm like, wow, that's really a serious case of, I think it will look like more like this, and then the bone joint will be like this. And I'm like, wow, that's a very serious case. I think when my physio say that mine is not really that bad because it's kind of like protruding out a bit, but then it's not that much. But even though mine is not like this bad, it still have like quite a lot of problems. I think I took like 1 year to fix my inward big toe, like my toes going inward, especially like when I'm standing or running or walking. And when I walk, then like my big toe is like, I'm like pressing on my foot with my big toe pointing inwards. And this kind of like got in the way of climbing, especially when I need to step on like tiny footholds, and then I'm relying on the strength of my big toe, and there's like a lot of compression, a lot of like muscle tightness and all that from this whole area here. So the past year I've been trying to just like correct my foot so that when I walk around, when I do like squats, deadlift, all the fun stuff, my toes are like properly spread out like that, and that is stable. Oh my god, the first few months when I was trying to do this, it's like this whole part, like I think there's a muscle over here that rarely got used when the toe is like pointing out like this, and it was like cramping like crazy. Like, and then like for the first few months of my toe is like really good now. But I say all these things in the like I'm doing all these knowing like what my injuries are, because I see my physio and I am actively like working on chronic issues with my muscles, my joints, because of my like growing up in a sedentary lifestyle, which was really bad for everything. And it's like it's just very, it's like a lot of work to try and correct like 20 years of like walking around with my toes like this, because even though it looks really minor, like walking around like this uses like a little bit of a different muscle than walking around like that. It's like super minor, but then it really makes a difference. I hope that I can make videos like this in the future, because I feel like videos online about like, oh, I started going to gym, I became strong and all this stuff. I feel like some of these people, like, they don't have very bad sedentary chronic issues like mine, and so like their progress is like a little bit more kind of like straightforward and linear. But yeah, it was a really, like, all these things are very interesting. Like now my now like 1 year in, I'm working on the issue of like the plantar fascia being chronically tight. So there's like this fascia thing that goes from the bottom of the foot and I think connects to like the heel. So sometimes when I run a lot more, there can be like pain at the corners of like the foot, somewhere like here. So when you have like pain like at this point or at this point, there is a chance that like your fascia is like tight and then it's like pulling on these connections here. So I'm working on that right now, which has been fun. And like, yeah, it's been fun, like getting stronger and getting more mobile, fixing all my shit and learning about anatomy in the process. I'm going to, there's this area here of the foot, which is like, I guess it's like always a nice place to, a nice shape to draw. It kind of like goes like this, and then it's like a plane, a triangular diagonal plane here. So I'm going to try and make that shape. I don't know about anatomy enough to make the shapes properly. And there are people with flat foot, but I'm not a flat footer, so I'm going to add this, and then I'm going to add the heel. The heel is like a ball shape, so make sure that from the bottom angle it's rounded like that. From this angle it's, I think I need to reduce the, from this angle it's like this, and then this part should be straight. I think something that I really appreciate too is that, like, even though I'm having all these problems, like when I think back about it, I used to have these problems when I was only running like once a week. And then now I'm having these problems because I'm running like every alternate day. So it's like, even though it always feels like I'm not progressing and like I'm hitting at like the same places, I just have to remember that like, oh, last time it used to hurt because I was doing it like once a month. And like my body couldn't take like a once in a month frequency kind of thing. But then now it's hurting because I'm doing it like every alternate day. Like the difference in load is like so different. Pain over there. Oh, you pain. It might be a fascia thing. I'm not a physio, but what I learned is that there's a tightness. My fascia is like really tight over here, and so that is, let me just show you. You can see whether or not it helps you. If it doesn't, then I guess it's you have to find someone else who have the exact same problem as you. But like there's like this ball of the heel of the foot, and then there's like the ball of the foot here. So what my physio told me to do is to get like a ball, or like, yeah, the shoe really makes a oh, and last time like I would get pain on like my tendons and stuff from walking around with like thin and hard soles. And usually like if you don't know any better in some sense, then you kind of like go into this trajectory of like, oh, I need to buy like softer and softer and softer shoes, and which kind of like makes sense. Like my running shoe is like really, it's like soft but firm right now, so that it can absorb the tendon, it can absorb the shock on the tendon a bit more, just because I have tendon injuries right now. But I want to work to a point where like I can wear harder running soles and I have no problems running in those harder shoes. But oh my god, what kind of doctor is that? No, don't. Anyway, you can see. So like what my physio told me to do is to I'm just going to do, this is not accurate, but you can just look at your foot. You have the bone joints over here and over here. So you want to avoid these when you're like, so that I can hinge this. One of the main things is to pull your toes up, because you want to work on it at the stretch position like this. So hold it up with your hand, and then you want to put the ball. Let me just put a ball there. always find all these things very interesting, so I can just talk about them. So tennis ball over here, and then you go over it. But for me right now, like, it's already so painful, like, without my toes going up. So I'm just like, I'm just like rolling with my, just stepping on it, and I'm not even bothering like bringing this up because it's really, my fascia is like so tight that just lightly rolling on the ball really hurt. So yeah, you can try and like roll this. I don't remember how long she told me to do it, but then I'm just like doing not too much, and then the next day I'll see like, is my foot in better condition or not. And if the condition is not worse, then it means that I didn't overdo it in the rehab. So it's been really helping. I don't have the pain on this anymore. So hopefully that might help yours too. So let me just, actually this toe is too small. And then I'm going to I've known that my fascia is tight because like there was one time when I had like my big toe joint felt very compressed from climbing, and that was the first time when I got my foot massaged so that my physio can check like the condition of my foot, and she was like, oh my god, your fascia is so tight. These other problems to work with, like compression of the big toe from years of to pull on the back of my heel, and so I'm working on that since last week. If I just like learn the anatomy and all the stuff, like I'll just be like, oh, this is the tibia, the anterior tibialis, and I'll be like, what the hell is that? And then I'll just forget about it the next day. But because from running, there's this small muscle over here that on the shin that you use a lot from running, especially when your foot is at this angle and you strike the ground, then it really works on this muscle. And then it's like when you look up, oh yeah, that's not fun. You can see if like your plantar fascia is tight, and then if it is, then I just gave you like my physio rehab for plantar fascia for free. But yeah, but I always like to talk about these kind of things because of all the stupid misinformation they can get online last time. Like many years ago when I look up online on like running, because I have pain here from very weak anterior tibialis, and then usually the articles be like, oh yeah, shin splints, you have like hairline fractures and all that stuff, and then I'll be like, oh my god, it's so scary, like what's all these things, and then I just find out that my shin is weak. And that's why like it hurts here when I run these days, because my shin is like one of the weakest areas now for running. There are other weak areas. I think there's also something like, one of the main things for running is that you can get, like if you have, this is your ab muscle. Why is the symmetry like this weird? What do I do? Oh. So if you, like this is the ab muscle, and sometimes in the past I'll get like kind of like the so-called running stitch over here when I'm running, and then when I look it up, it's like people are like, oh, it's like your diaphragm, whatever shit, and then you have to do stupid stuff to like not get running stitches. And then when I go to physio and I ask about it, then she's just like, oh, your ab muscle is like too tight. And so like I didn't know last time, but when you're running, you're like lifting up your leg all the time. It's kind of like using your ab muscles to your hip flexors over here. And yeah, my ab muscles are just not used to the load and the mobility, and it's cramping. But after I knew like that was the problem, I worked on it, and then now I don't get running stitches anymore. But it's so annoying that it took like so many years for me to finally like just find a physio who is good, and then yeah. Trying to touch feet while standing. More pain in leg shin. I feel I haven't really felt that before. But I had a lot of problems with yoga, because with yoga, like, it's so easy to like so-called like overdo stretching. I feel like that's the problem with me in yoga. Like I just don't know what my body's limit is, and then I will overstretch something, and then like it will take like a week for the tendon to recover because like I overstretch it. So I think so far, like with weightlifting and with climbing, it feels a lot better because I can't. But you know what, maybe it might just be that because I've learned so much about how to not overdo things. Yeah, but the main thing is just like there's this tip that I really like from the YouTube channel E3 Rehab. E3 Rehab is pretty good, and the way that you progressively level up your exercises and all that, your body's mobility, is to just like do the workout, and then if the next day you're feeling good, then you're doing a good load on your body can take it on the previous day, and then you just keep going with that. But then if the next day like you're hurting and like your tendons are in bad condition and all that stuff, it means that it was too much for your body to handle, and then you need to lower down the load. And you keep doing that. I've been doing that for like a few years now, like just listening to my body, kind of like keeping notes on like what is hurting the next day or like even the day after, and using those references, I'm able to be like I mean, I'm not the best at it, I'm not a coach or anything, so I guess normally I'm always doing things on like the side of doing a little bit too little. But thanks to like that kind of like listening to your body, monitoring, and going to the physio and seeing what I need to work on, like in the year that I've been climbing and running, and doing pull-ups too. Like doing pull-ups used to injure my shoulder, and because I learned like what I need to do and what I need to work on, then I'm able to progress on those things. Let me just like color this pants. I think another reason why I like to talk about these stuff is just because like I grew up with so much misinformation that like I wish that I knew all these things in the past, because it's just a lot more helpful to be like oh, I know what I need to work on and all this stuff. Kind of reminds me like the first time that I met my physio was to like I used to be very sedentary, and then my boyfriend brought me to the gym, and then I really like deadlifting, at that point. But then deadlifting was like injuring my lower back all the time, especially when I want to progress my weight and lift heavier. Okay, I'm going to uninstance this one now. And then I'm just like really lucky that my older sister had found this really good physio, and so I went to that physio for the first time, and then the rest was like history. So I just uninstanced this because I want to shorten these like that so that they look more like the small toe, and I can still like get away with having all these toes as instances because like they're just so tiny, like you wouldn't really look at them. So I'll just keep them as instances, and I will just work on fixing the shape of the toe. I'm not really going to bother with like drawing out the nail that much like that. I'll just do a little bit using the crease brush and like really lightly just pressing it, and then from the top view just curve it out a little bit more like this. Just move this out, and that is like the very quick way of making the toenail. And then make sure that from the different angles that is not too square. So I'm just looking out for any like blocky angles. I want them to be nice and round. I want to add a little bit of the joint, something like this. Make sure that the volume from the side view is good. And my toes are like kind of small, so I'm just going to use that as a reference. So something like this. So maybe they're a bit too narrow at this point because I have a lot of details like this. Usually if I want to make overall adjustments, I'll switch off the dynamic topology on the drag tool so that I can preserve the wireframe. And that's like the little toes kind of done up. Maybe I just want to curve this a bit more. And then the side of the foot, there is this part over here, something like this, and now I'll just move it out. I'm just like creating the wherever I'm staying on my foot. A lot of problems on the human bodies. It's kind of like a combination of weakness of the muscle and inflexibility. And it's been really fun, like knowing. I think what is fun is that I know what the problems are, and I'm like actively working on them. Like I'm not doing any guesswork when I'm doing my rehab. Because like even for the thing with the fascia, it's like when I'm feeling the pain on the corner of the heel, like I would think that it was coming from my leg. It's like I wouldn't know that it was the fascia pulling on this. Just pin. this up. And the other thing is that as we get more and more stuck on our desk and sit down all day and do very like static things, like a lot of repetitive stress injuries will pop out, which is also what happens with my foot. My foot has a lot of chronic issues. So the outer side would be flatter. So I'll just make the outer side a bit flatter. And I feel like I don't want to use I feel so different talking, like doing work in front of, I guess, like not doing work by myself. So I'm going to make the back part where the Achilles tendon is and make this higher up, and I can start putting this is the foot. And then this is the big toe. So I'm tracking this angle here and making sure that I think they're a bit too flat. Let me just make them a bit rounder, like this. And then I'm going to flatten this up, and I will rotate, I'll parent these underneath the foot so that when I rotate this, the toes follow along. And I will fix the overall rotation. I feel like the toes are too small. So maybe like this. And then maybe shorten the foot a bit more, and then move it behind. I'll bring the gizmo up so that it rotates around the ankle better. And I'm going to bring up this Your doctor solution sucks, man. I got it though. Like I got that kind of answers last time, which was really frustrating to me because I want to figure out like what my issues are and I want to fix them. But I think like it's a lot of people just prefer the convenience of like not bothering about what is wrong with their, like not figuring out what is wrong with their body and just say like, oh, I'm getting old, and that's it. I think a lot of, that's kind of like the common response that people like to kind of like believe in, that they can't do anything about anything. Because it's just more convenient that way. It's like, even though I'm working on, the toes are too big. Even though I'm working on my chronic issues, it's like, it's not a walk in the park. Let me see. It's like when I got my meniscus problem a few days ago, it really affects the mood throughout the day. Like I think it's also partly why I didn't feel like live streaming on Monday too, because I'm just like, oh my god, like this stupid body is like complaining over not even like running that much. So I like to make this part here, and let me just look at the chat. Oh, if you have dislocated shoulder, the E3 Rehab, the YouTube channel, they have a very good video on what like people can train up for post shoulder dislocation and stuff, because people with like, I guess like if you dislocate your shoulder, there's like some instability that you will feel inside, and the shoulder is a very complicated area. I've been working on a lot of problems in my shoulder. And the E3 Rehab stuff is really good if you don't want to, if you can't find like a good physio, or if you don't want to pay for physio. Like E3 Rehab has so much good information about all these things. And I think like I don't have shoulder dislocation, but then when I watched their stuff on like how to strengthen the shoulder and how to get stability, like train the stabilizing muscles on it, like I think it's pretty good stuff, especially when it's free, And then and like when you're working out, like you do have to care about the pain. Like there's like this whole thing, as like last time when I used to work out, I was also like, I'm just going to grit my teeth and like just bear the pain and like just get through it. And that's like one of the things I did with running, and like one of my ankle tendons is like got like so inflamed and so swollen and red, and like it doesn't feel the same anymore right now. Like when I do like a squat on the floor, I can feel like the tendon is like not the same anymore than like compared to my left foot. But I also rehabbed it with my physio, so it's all good now. It's just that because of all the like push through the pain and all that stuff, like I've injured my ankle tendon over here, the Achilles tendon here, which is connected to the calf muscle over here. So my calf muscles is quite tight and inflexible, especially when I first met my physio. and so it kept pulling on the tendon over here. So I put my tendon through a lot of stress, and I didn't let it heal properly. I didn't strength train it properly, and so like it kept tearing, and then it didn't heal properly, and then it tears again, and then it didn't heal properly. And because of that, the structure of my tendon here feels different. Like when I when I do this, like the feeling that I have in my tendon over here, it like it's a very gross feeling, but it feels like my tendon is doing this, whereas my other foot is like it feels normal to me. So pain is like a good indicator of like your body can't handle it at the moment in time. So like you shouldn't ignore the pain. Yeah. Oh, you did too many pull-ups. How many pull-ups do you have to do to get this? Okay. Well, I hope that you're fine though. So I can kind of just stop over here. Yeah, I just realized that I don't know about the foot enough to like give a good step by step of how to do things. But I guess and it's very hard to see actually like from here. But the main thing is just creating the different spheres for the different shapes, and then I'll instance this up to spread it out to the other toes, and then I'll uninstance the big toe after I draw in the toenails, and after I instance that, then the 4 of these can be adjusted together so that I can shorten the toenail like that so that they are shorter. I don't know about other people's toenail, but like my smaller toes are like a lot shorter than my big toe. I should keep that. Then for the outside of the foot, it's a little bit straighter over here. For the back of the foot, it's a bit, I think it's a bit wrong. There's a wrong rotation, so I'm going to adjust that a little bit. What's this thing? Let me hide this. And then the Achilles tendon connects down here. This part is quite a sharp point like this. But yeah, I don't know what the calcaneal tendon is. Like, I guess I'm interested to look it up. For shoulders, oh, first day of doing pull-ups. Man, that's really unlucky. I hope that you got better. I've been really enjoying doing pull-ups, so I hope that you'll be able to do them. And then because I have like the arch here, there's the ball joint over here, and it goes in like this, like that. So I'll create this curve shape over here and smooth it out. And the foot is like pointing in a bit too much, so I will adjust the gizmo position a bit. Okay, from this angle, like it's too much. So far for climbing and pull-ups and stuff, one of my biggest problem which I worked on is the rotator muscle. So if I'm not sure whether I can show over here. There's a small muscle, the rotator cuff. I don't know how it connects. It's something like this. It wraps around the shoulder, the elbow. It's a very small muscle, but you use it a lot to stabilize and to pull. How to say? Like, let's say you're grabbing something really tiny, and you need to pull your torso inwards. That muscle is like really important to stabilize like your shoulder to do the move. So I've injured it twice, and the first time that I injured it, it was really weird because I'm like, it feels like I injured my side delts, because that's why it feels like. The pain was like, wait, was it the side or the front? But there was like the pain somewhere here, I think. And then I'm like, is it the delts? Did I injure my delts from climbing? And then I found out that it was the rotator, and because it wraps around the shoulder like that, like the pain can be, the tendon pull will be somewhere around here. So one of the things that we do would be, like my boyfriend and I, something that we like to do at the gym to warm up is to do like external rotator, which is you have the machine here, and then the cable machine is like at the chest height, and then you're pulling like this. I guess this is the cable machine, and then you're holding like this thing like that, and you hold it at this position. Let me just adjust this a bit. So you hold it at this position, and then you pull up like that. So this one is like more climbing related, because on the wall you're always trying to pull like this. So this is more like climbing relevant exercise for this tiny muscle over here. But one of the other variations, which is more common in the gym, I think, is to put it over here, like hold it, cable machine on your left side, and then you hold the handle, and then you go outwards like this. Let me undo that. And this is looking so weird. Let me adjust the front view. And then move this outward a little bit. I want to flatten the foot a bit more. Like the shoulder is a really the shoulder is capable of such a big range of motion that it's one of the most complicated joint. There's so many muscles going on. I'm going to kind of like highlight the Achilles tendon a little bit more, like this. And then I'm going to do this part that sticks out a little bit, like that, and then smooth that out. Maybe do it a bit more. And then do this, and I guess that's kind of like Today I'm just resting because I think finishing a painting is like really it's really hard mentally. So I'm going to fix this part now. Something like this. Make sure that it curves nicely too. When it comes to multiple objects like this, I like to create a little shoulder lateral raise. Oh, I need to do that. Yeah, I see a lot of people do lateral raises. I think my, in some sense, like my favorite workouts right now just like revolves around my current injuries. Because it's like when you work on, like, let's say my meniscus. So actually something interesting that I learned about meniscus is that I started having this tightness over here at this point, and then I was like, is it my calf, is it my hamstring, whatever? And then my physio was like, oh, your meniscus is irritated. So like with meniscus, like you can feel pain like over here, you can feel the like a pull over here. And there's one running session that I did that I ran too much. So normally I would like run over a short distance and before like my shin complains too much, and then I'll walk a little bit to rest, and then I repeat that. But then I ran like too much because I was feeling good, and then the next day I could feel like a pull out of here. Oh wait, no. Wait. Oops. Wrong. Sorry. It wasn't that. It was let me just split this. Too many injuries. I keep let me see. This one. Wait. Let me. I tried to remember like what the climbing move was. So it was like, why are you, oh, wrong. So I was like doing this move on the wall. Where, wait, I tried to remember. It's gonna look weird, but like I was doing this on the wall, ignore the other leg, but I was doing like this, and then from the point of my foot, actually, how does this work? I need to, so from the point of my foot, like this, to pivot around, it's gonna look weird, and then do like a kind of like a drop knee position. The other leg is like this, so ignore this one. But so I have to pivot from my big toe and like do like from this is the leg, from this position, and then rotate around to a drop knee position with the big toe at the same point. And then like I felt like a very, very tiny, like a pop. It was too much load for my meniscus. So the next day let me not split the leg. So the next day there was like a pain on the outer side over here around the kneecap, which kind of like falls in line with what because I asked my physio like, oh, what do people feel when they get meniscus injury? And then she's like, oh, sometimes people can like feel it around here. And then I felt that the next day, and I was like, oh shit. And then I got depressed for a few hours because I'm like, oh my god, like what the hell, like I've been working on getting my ankle tendon stronger, and then I got stupid meniscus. So annoying. Anyway, I've been doing hamstring curls and leg extensions the past few days, and they are like my favorite right now because they stop the pain on my knees. And I'm able to climb because of that. Yeah, I think that's about it. Like, are we not going to... Oh, wait. I sidetracked. So, when it comes to different objects connected to... Yeah, just like different objects connected together. I like to do like a little bit of blending between the objects. And the way that I do that is to just... Let me just show you. I'm going to create the crease like this, and then I'm going to just pull it, or maybe use the brush tool and just make the connection a little bit smoother like that. And I'm going to draw in... Actually, no, I can do a little bit more like this. Like that, and smooth that out, just to give the feeling of anatomy. And then I will adjust these a little bit more. Like this. And that will just help to make the connections a little bit better. Because I don't really want to... Do I want to just... No, I don't really feel like merging them together. So I will just leave it as that. And then the heel should be more elegant like this. And then I want to even out. See, I'm always making these kinds of like cuboid shapes unintentionally, so I need to curve it around a little bit more like this. So it's just about going around at different camera angles and fixing shit. Something like this. And then from the bottom view, I'm just going to push this out a little bit more just to create this shape. It's not the best foot, but then it's good enough. So now I can do the posing for this. Yeah, it's always like... Yeah, I know, right? It's like one of the... When I was fixing like this stupid problem of like my big toe being too compressed, the joint, one of the rehab is also, if you have compression in the big joint, that you want to spend like, was it like once a day or every time after a climbing session, that I need to like pull the toe a little bit for like 10 seconds and then let it go, and then do this again and then let it go. So when my big toe was hurting after climbing sessions, because just like started using the muscles around the big toe. Then I had to do that for quite a while. But now it doesn't hurt anymore, so I don't do it anymore. Like, even if I should do it, it's like, because it's not painful anymore, like I don't remember to do it. But now my plantar fascia is painful, so I'm working on that now. But yeah, like when I was fixing my big toe compression issue and like also trying to walk like this, like a normal person, then I mean like a normal anatomy, then it's like, oh my god, like every single day, like sometimes I'll have like cramps here, sometimes I'll have cramps here, it's so weird, and then sometimes I'll have like cramp here, sometimes like, yeah, it's just like different areas, like what's painful for random times of the day. Which also means that like I wasn't using my foot properly in a sense. Like I wasn't using it properly for like walking or running. So yeah, I'm happy that now I can walk around and run with my toe at like a more normal spot without my foot hurting. So that's like very good progress. Yes. I think maybe I'll just make this a bit bigger, and then this time around I will mirror this. Let me just move the mirror to this side of the leg, like this. So that when I validate the mirror, why is the foot? Oh, I see. Maybe I should disconnect this a bit first. So I'll validate the mirror. Why is this foot thing? Why is there a full stop ahead of it? I don't understand. Okay, never mind. Let me just rename this. Let me also rename this. Why is this the full stop? Never had any cramps. I think for a few years, like, and I didn't know back then, but because my calf muscles are not at like average flexibility, and the way that you test it is like you lean your knee against the wall, and then you see like how far you can stand away from the wall while keeping your foot flat on the floor, and then you like bend forward as much as you can until your knee touches the wall. So I think like I was below average, like my flexibility sucks. And then my physio was like, oh my god, your flexibility is so bad. But I'm happy to say that now I am average. So it's good. But like when I was below average, like sometimes I'll wake up in the morning, and then like my calf would be like cramping, or like sometimes I can even wake up in the middle of the night and then my calf is cramping like shit. Especially when like, because running is a lot of like repetitive load on the calf. It's like doing hundreds of calf raises like when you're running. and my calves were just too weak, and yeah, it will just cramp. The good thing now is that my calves don't cramp anymore. But I'm trying to increase my, oops, let me just fix that. But now I'm trying to fix, I don't want to be like just an average flexibility on my leg. And my left calf is more flexible than my right calf, so I'm trying to do deficit calf raises, which is to do like a calf raise on the latch, and then you're doing like calf raises on the latch, so it's a deficit. And like the first week when I did deficit calf raises, like I started cramping on my right foot again, like when I wake up in the morning. It was so annoying. But now it has gotten stronger and it's gotten used to it, so it's not a problem. So many problems. Stupid sedentary lifestyle. Actually, why am I not? Oh my god. Okay, let me validate this again with the foot under the leg, so that I can rotate this now. Let's bring up the old leg so that I can pose this properly again. Now because the foot is separate, so I want to separate the lower leg. Then I can do this. I think when I'm drawing feet, I like to draw this. I like to draw this thing. I like to draw like this curve over here. I feel like it's very pretty. So I will do this. And I like to do that on the sculpt too. So if I bend the foot like this, I think let's hide this one now. Then I will kind of like curve this a little bit, just to exaggerate that look. Something like this, just so that it looks pretty. Then make sure that it looks fine on the other angles, like this. Then this one too, I want to rotate this like that. And I can hide this leg. Let's fix the gizmo position. Where's the symmetry for this? Something that I learned from drawing, and it's the same thing with yes, aesthetic. Is like when you look at the side of the hand, if you look at the top view, you can see that it's not just straight on. There is like a curve. There's like a, it's very hard to show, but there's like an angle to, from this joint to this joint. And then I feel like it's so hard to grip the hand. There's the same triangular thing over here, like this. There's the same triangular shape here. So I try to I try to get this like slanted angle on this part. I think the other stuff, like I'm not familiar enough with the foot to be able to show the shapes of them. So because her legs are going to be both her feet are curving up like this, so I'm going to create like this slight bend here, just so that it smooths this out. And then I want to make this part a little bit, at this point it's just like doing the fine tuning. I'm not going to make the anatomy perfect or anything. Like, I don't know enough about the foot to, I only just recently learned about plantar fascia. I don't have enough problems on my foot to know the anatomy well enough. Because like this whole time, my main injuries are on my calf muscles. I feel like for me, like my word of the year for 2025 was peroneus. I keep injuring my peroneus muscle, which is, the calf is a really fun thing to learn. Where like you have the, I forgot what this muscle is called. There's a tiny muscle here that connects to I think it connects here. Anyway, it's the big toe. I don't know, this might be wrong, but I know that it wraps around, it goes underneath this. Wait, why did this ball join? It kind of wraps around here underneath, and then there is, and then that is actually this one's a bit too, and then the peroneus is, this is the big toe calf muscle, which I've injured from running, so I know that they exist. And then this is the shin bone, somewhere around here at the diagonal of the diagonal of the leg. There's a muscle here, and it goes, the tendon goes around here, and it goes around and connects to the bone over here, I think. And this is one of the common injuries that girls will get because of the way that girls have wider hips like this, which sadly like makes a lot of girls, including me in the past, do the knee valgus thing because of our anatomy and because of the weak glutes and weak core muscles, especially if I was sedentary, so my glutes and my core were like super weak, and then my leg will like collapse in like this, and then it will sometimes, like girls doing sports can roll their ankles over here, and they can, one of the common parts where they will tear is this one, the tendon over here, just because they will like pow, like that. This is a common thing, which I feel like it's so sad that so many girls get this problem, like the weakness on this muscle, and then yeah, it's like I wish that schools would teach them to like get this stronger so that less girls get the tendons here torn. But anyway, I like to get injured here. I keep getting injured on this muscle, and with like both running and climbing, it injures it at like in different ways. Like just 2 days ago, I'm trying a climbing move where like I have to, like the climbing move is like this, where you have to press on this, and then you have to hold this, and then you have to squat like that, and then put your leg underneath, so that like from the side view it's like this. So if you don't press hard on the foot, on the toe, then you're just going to like fall outwards. But this one was like quite hard on my peroneus, and at this moment like it's hard on my meniscus, because like my meniscus is irritated right now, so like deep flexion is like a bit bad for my meniscus at the moment. But yeah, I injured this so many times. Yeah, 2025 was just about making my peroneus stronger. But like the good thing is that I used to injure this at like in bouldering gyms, you have like different levels of like, you have level 1, level 0 to like level 9, 10 in the gym. And recently I just got to level 5, like finally after one plus year. So last time I used to injure this muscle at like level 3-ish, and now I'm injuring this muscle at, I mean not injuring, like straining it too much at level 5. So it's like, it's amazing progress. The way to work this muscle, which I don't really like I don't really like working on this muscle. I wish that there's like a weight training way to work on it, but it's to put, you have to put your foot like this, and then you have the band, and then you tiptoe. Oh, actually, can I do a tiptoe? Oh my god, it's so cool to like talk about all these stuff. I don't care people don't like these kind of things. Like I find it. So you have to tiptoe. Oh my god, this is such a pain to rotate all of them. Like you have to tiptoe. You have to tiptoe on both sides, and you have to squat. Like do like a squat like this. You have to squat like that, like this, and then you want to put the exercise band over here, and then you're just like, it's called crab walks, and then you just oh my god, I don't know how to draw someone doing a crab walk. Anyway, you're walking like side to side while you're assuming this stance, and that will train the muscle here. It's a very small muscle. Big cough. Yeah. I hate women. Like, why do you guys sound so fit? I'm so jealous. I want to do a pistol squat too. Damn. Well, I'm glad that you and your brother are active. That's a very good thing. I feel like being active is so fun too. Like being sedentary was just like boring as hell. And the only thing that is fun is like playing video games. I want to be able to do a cartwheel this year, but I'm not sure whether or not I can get the goal for that. Yeah, crab walk. Oh, and then for the big calf, the main calf, so that's the peroneus here. Peronius is like weird of 2025. There's Peronius here, there's like yeah. Then there's like the big toe calf muscle, which I forgot the name of. And then there is the main calf muscle here, which is connected to the Achilles tendon. And this is the muscle that you want to use for running. So my mistake, I've been trying to correct my running form for a few months. And like over time, I've been trying to get better at it. Sometimes I'll like load too much on this one. And then sometimes I'll be running too much on my big toe, which will use this muscle too much. So the main thing is that you want to run. I'm just like recapping all the things that I learned from physio over the past few months. You want to use a big muscle instead. You don't want to use the smaller muscles. So when you run, you want to think about landing on this instance. But you want to think about landing through your second and third toe. So when you're landing, you want to think about that cue, and you will use your this muscle instead of like the smaller ones. There was one time when there was a week when I was running too much on my big toe, and then that week this one was like so strained. Yeah, I don't remember when that was, but I remember it happening. Gee, just flexing all over. And I'm like, I want to do a cartwheel too, but I cannot. Oh, damn it. I need to learn how to do a cartwheel. Okay, so feet pointing like this. So I think I just want to do this a little bit, just to make it, I don't know. Let me fix the connection to the lower toe a bit. I'm going to go into the lighting mode. I'm not sure whether I want the shoe. Why is it that it looks I'm trying to fix the little pop-up a bit. It's always difficult to make the nails curve nicely, but it's done. Somehow it feels like the lighting is causing... Oh, I see. I think it's the curvature. Let me see. Somehow the curvature is giving natural looking nails. That's cool. And I want to paint the leg a little bit because the colors are off. So let me paint this. And ballerinas are not even like because my friends ballerinas. I mean, were ballerinas. So I learned from them that they're standing like this. Oh, actually, this joint is too flat. But they're standing like this in their shoe. Like, they do have like hard shoes. Like I felt their shoes before, and it's quite stiff here. Like it feels like a cardboard stiffness. But then it's still like, it's so crazy how like they're just standing on the tip of their toe. Like yeah. I was just like, my sedentary self was just like, how do you do that? There's something that I like with painting in the skin is to just add like some reddish tones to areas like this. You can see instantly it feels more alive. Like there's blood flow going through it. Oh, the quads are not correct. Adductors are too small. And you know why I know all these things? It's because I've injured all of them. Injury is like the best learning, the best way to learn about anatomy. Hamstrings also. Hamstrings use a lot for climbing with heel hooking. That means you're hooking your heel onto like a climbing hold and then you're pulling it in. And because of that, it uses this muscle. I can't heel hook a lot of things because my hamstrings are too tight. Stupid hamstrings. So that looks a lot better now. I've injured my knee a lot, but then honestly I don't really know how it looks like from the side view. But I know that there is this curve over here. Oh, it's so cool how like I know a lot more about the leg anatomy just from 1 year of being more active. It's cool as shit. Oh my god, I learned so much. I didn't know. It's the coolest shit. Like being able to apply what you learn to your art is like always the coolest feeling. Oh my god. No, my friends don't. I don't think they didn't. Eventually some of my friends did like the backstage side of the dance. So like they'll go around to ballet competitions and they'll help out in the backstage. Which they say that it was pretty fun to do that. But I don't recall them being able to walk without the shoes on the toes. Yeah. I don't know whether they're seniors who are really good dancers. Like, I don't know whether they can do it. Like, whenever I think back about like how active I could have been when I was a kid. Oh, so wasted. Like the 1 year that I've been climbing, I feel like I spend so much time like just trying to undo shit that I've done to my body. And like it's only this year when I can kind of like what's that? When I feel like I'm at like level I'm like square one. Where like I'm not trying to undo like stupid chronic problems. And my injuries is from trying too hard on certain things, I think. Oh yeah, anyway, back to painting. You're talking about pistol squat. Like pistol squat is so important for climbing. It's like people say that squats and deadlift is not really that important. Like pistol squat is really important for climbing. Because like there'll be so many moments in when like you'll be like doing this and then you're climbing on like a stupidly small hole or something, and then you have to stand up on it. My drawing sucks. And then you have to stand up on it. Like imagine if the handhold is here. Wait, if you're standing up on it, then that means the hand sorry, that means the handhold is here, and then you're standing up on this tiny hole. So there are a lot of, especially on the hard, as the grades get harder and harder, you need to start relying on this strength of being able to step up with one leg. So pistol squat is really crucial for a lot of climbing moves, like being able to do that. Something I like to do with painting, especially when it comes to like different objects, is I like to paint the same colors at the intersections. So it feels like it blends a little bit better that way. When it comes to other areas, I just like to focus on like the extremities, or maybe like here, like where it touches the floor. And remember that if I paint this, then I should paint this also, just so that it's not disconnected. And then the toes, I like to do like I guess just make it darker. And then the nails are like a little bit more reddish. Unless there's nail polish. Actually no, it's a little bit purple. And then I like to start. Right now they look a little bit too straight, so I'm just going to wait, why did they see. Then fix the gizmo position again. Make sure that they are there so that when I rotate this it's more natural. Like this. Something like this. This one looks a little bit weird. Like it feels like there's no volume here. I can use a brush and just draw these out to give more volume. Just looking at the other angles. And then I just move this out. I think maybe it's like a little bit small. Oh wait. Let me see. I guess it's fine. Then let's bring back the base. I'm not sure whether or not I want to choose the. Let's rotate this a little bit because now they're separate. So maybe I can rotate like this. Like this. And right now it's fine like this. If I render this out in Blender, I'm going to bring this into Blender and do my normal stuff. And then I'll paint over it. So this is fine because I drop the correct color because I can just paint it like this and it should be fine. I'm not really sure about the shoe because I like this color there. Let me see. Man. I was thinking about ballerinas. Maybe I will. Let's. Maybe create slippers. Maybe that'll be nice. So I will. Let's hide this again. I'm going to make flats. So I'll get this thing. I know, I think I will. Okay, so I'm going to create a tube. So I will. Can I add a tube to this? No. I guess it's fine. So I'm going to create a tube like this, and I'll color it the same. Where is the shoe? Give me the shoe. But without the metallic color. Maybe a bit. Let me think. I guess something like this. and I will turn it. Do I want it round-ish? So with the tube tool, this point in the center where there's the green line and the red line, that is the center of, that is the spot where the point exists. So because I know that I want to put the straps on her foot, I will put the edge on the green level, something like that. So maybe I want to make a strap like this, or maybe like this, maybe like that, and I will put it on her foot, something like this. We worked so hard to sculpt the foot, so we might as well show it up. I can use the twist. Let me see. The location, the way that the first and the second point angles, it matters quite a bit, because it will, like, let's say if I put here, it affects the rotation of the remaining of the strap. So I try to put quite a lot of focus on how the first strap rests on the geometry, and then after that I try not to touch the rotation anymore. So that's a good rotation, and if the rotation is not that great, then I can rotate manually like that. So I think that is good. I think something like that is good. I don't really like to work with very long tubes because you can't like you can't move multiple points together, which is a pain. So I think this is good enough. And then to replicate this, you make it a bit. Maybe I want it to be a bit thinner. I probably want it to be a lighter pink. And then maybe move it around. Let me think. guess I'll just make it wrap around. Oh, Apple Pencil is complaining. Something like this. That means it's time to go. And then I make a curve around the lake. And I'll just make it fly out, because why not? And then finalize the curve around. Maybe. Maybe make it a bit thinner. Although maybe I should just make this curve. And this will kind of, I wish that there's a way to instance the ribbons, not the ribbons, the profile of a tube. But, or like even copy and paste the profile. Oh wait, there's a way. Oh my god. Holy shit. Wait, can I? That's the way to do it. Oh my god. What's the meaning of this? I think probably I'll just make this a bit thinner. If I bring everything back, bring back the plants. I was kind of thinking that I want this to kind of tie in with this a bit. So maybe I'll just grab these colors here. Wait, it looks ugly. Okay, I'll just make this darker. Yeah, I think that's the way. Yes, I just want to find a way to put the pink colors down here. And I think this is the way. And I'm going to mirror this, so let's grab it. Let me think. I'm going to add the same mirror here. Before I end the stream, I'm just going to quickly put this on the other foot. Oops, I moved the wrong one. This one. I was wondering why it looks so weird. So let's rotate this. Let's rotate this. Is it? The way that this shows up, something like this, and also so that it doesn't look like they are completely mirrored to each other, something like this. I think as usual, I'll just sit on this idea a bit and let it simmer a bit. And hopefully the next time I look at this, I'll be like, okay, this is what I need to do to make it look a bit better. It's my first time adding ribbons like this, so it's just a cool idea to, hopefully a cool idea to try out. I have no idea. It's always good to try new things. Okay. And if it doesn't work out, then I just delete it. And I think that's it. Yes. Blessed with feed knowledge. No better way to put it. I hope that you can overcome whatever problems you have on your foot too. I feel like, I mean, as much as people like to like, sometimes I'll be like, when I hear someone having issues and then they'll be like, no, like I'm strong, or like I have no weak muscles, like it's not because I'm weak. And then I'm like, dude, it's not like that's like, don't put your personal feelings into it. Like, it's, you probably just have like chronic issues from sitting down all day and all that stuff. But I guess my point is that I feel like a lot of the problems that people generally have like we probably have quite a lot of common issues, unless you have accidents from sports or like, I don't know, car crashes and stuff, or falling down like a boulder, a rock or something. In general, like a lot of these problems have quite a lot of common causes, I guess. So yeah, I hope that the feed knowledge and the things that I learned over the past few years from my physio will be helpful to you too. Because it really sucks to feel pain and be injured. And it's so fun to be active and be able to be active without pain. And it was fun talking to you too. So thank you for joining in the stream. Manjusha, thank you. And I will end it here. I'm trying to fix the clipping and stuff. And I guess this one. And also, like, sometimes like all these injury issues is not really about like how strong you are. Like, someone who is really strong and more active than me can have very similar problems, because like a lot of injuries, especially when you try to be active, stems from imbalances. Like for me right now, one of my main issues which I'm trying to work on is the birds are back. The birds are so cute. I don't know what they say to each other. It's a couple. It's quite cute, the birds. So one of my main issues is that the quad, there's a quad here, the vastus radialis, is it? That is below average flexibility. So like the average flexibility is like 120 degrees, and mine is 110. And just because of that, it keeps pulling on my kneecap every day. It's getting better over like the 2 years I've been trying to fix it. But sometimes it will cause like patellar irritation. And like my other leg is completely fine. Like, no, it's not. Like, it's 120 degrees, like average flexibility. I'm like bare minimum average right now. But yeah, just like that 10 degrees of inflexibility like really pulls on my kneecap. Like, it compresses the kneecap on the joint. And because I'm like, my right leg is like fine handling like the running load and like climbing and stuff, then my left leg is like just trying to catch up, because it's like so fun to run and so fun to climb that I don't want to stop. But I'm doing things that my right leg can handle, and my left leg having the 10 degrees less flexibility is like complaining to me. And I would say like I think compared to a lot of girls, my leg strength is pretty good. So it's not that I'm weak on my legs. It's just like relatively to my current strength and flexibility, my left leg is not able to catch up. So I think in most cases it's like that. There are a lot more girls and guys like more flexible than me and stronger than me in the legs. But if you're imbalanced and you're like trying to do things that one leg can and the other leg can't, then you get injuries too. So yeah, I think like my right peroneus is weaker than my left. So like even though my left knee is the one giving problems, like my right leg has like its own set of issues. Which is so stupid. It's like, oh my god, it's so annoying. But yeah, thank you for staying around and sharing with me your small bits of life. It's really fun to do streams, I would say. So thank you for tuning in. I hope that you learned something about feet. Let me just bring up the whole sculpt again. The next time I stream, I'll be painting cleaning up these paints because they look a bit messy right now. I want it to look a little bit more like this. And I'll be using the paint for my blender renders. So I want to make it look a little bit better. Yeah, I'm not really sure about this right now. Maybe the main thing is that it's too uniform right now. Maybe if I make it look more like this, which I can. Or I can even copy and paste this one over to this and then make it pink. Maybe I should do that. Like maybe I can still keep this and then I copy and paste that. But that'll be for another time. Okay, I need to go. Thank you for... I will see you guys in the next one.